This is always the scary part to me. Sometimes I'll start peeling it off and it won't be stuck. So I just use my fingernail and I start peeling it off. And I'm looking to see if my image is either on this paper or on the shirt. But this looks pretty good. Hello everyone and welcome back to This is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri, and today we are once again on the family room floor because you know why. It is DIY Wednesday. What are we making today? Well, I'll tell you. We are making, I know, you're like, seriously, Sheri? Really? This is what we're making today? Yes, this is what we're making today. We are making DIY custom t-shirts. I know. I hear the skepticism in your voice. I hear it. I know that you're like, since 1972, the day YouTube was invented, there have been 80 million videos on iron-on custom t-shirts. I get it. However, I make my own custom t-shirts all the time. Really, usually I make tank tops because I like tank tops. But every time I go to make one, I have the hardest time figuring out, because usually I do words. I don't do pictures. I make tank tops that say like, I'm awesome. And every single time I go to make another one, I cannot figure out for the life of me how to do a mirror image. Don't ask me why. This DIY custom t-shirt video is going to be different. We all know how to use an iron. Not difficult. We can all read the instructions on the Avery fabric transfers. We're not dum-dums. However, no one takes you through the actual process of preparing your design for the iron-on. They're literally like, and you can go online and find clip art of your favorite image and voila, custom t-shirt done. Yeah, and that's true if you want a t-shirt that has a custom image on it. But if you want to write cute words, yeah, good luck trying to figure out how to mirror image it before you print it. You can't just go into Word and type I am awesome and then print it out and then iron it on, because then it will be backwards. Especially if you are printing on light colored fabric. There's a fabric transfer for dark colored fabric and there's a fabric transfer for light colored fabric. When you do the fabric transfer for light colored fabric, you have to print a mirror image. No one really covers that, but guess who does? Sheri, I'll cover that, don't you worry. What are the supplies that we need for these t-shirts? Well, you need a t-shirt, number one. As you know, going on the Mexican cruise with a group of friends, I am making everybody t-shirts. You know, like when you go on a family reunion and everybody has a matching t-shirt that says like, the Jones family. Yeah. I make everybody on the cruise t-shirts and I force them to wear their t-shirts one day out of the cruise. I got girl t-shirts and I got boy t-shirts and I got them at the Walmart. The girl t-shirts I spent a little bit more money on than I spent on the boy t-shirts because I wanted the girls to have v-necks and be cute. I could have gotten matching t-shirts for everybody, boys and girls, because this brand, Gildan, they have these t-shirts at the Walmart for $2 each. So the boys get $2 t-shirts and the girls get $4 t-shirts. Yay. The girls' t-shirts are much nicer feeling wise, and boys don't care, so they get these. And you're gonna need your pack of fabric transfer. Like I said, depending on the color of your shirt, there is light fabric transfer and there is a dark fabric transfer. I did want to do black t-shirts, but printers don't print white. Don't you find that weird? Hey, HP, make it so I can print white ink so that I can do a black shirt with white ink, because that would be awesome. This is 6 printable sheets, and I wanna say that it was maybe $8 at the Walmart. I got 2 packs of these because I'm doing 24 shirts, and I made my design small enough so that I can get 3 iron-ons out of 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 iron-on paper. Other than your t-shirts and your iron-on paper, you need an iron and some scissors and a computer and a printer. I feel like those are given items, but maybe they're not. Those are the supplies you need for DIY Wednesday custom t-shirts. Okay, so like I mentioned, the worst part of creating your own custom t-shirt is figuring out how to mirror your image, especially if you are doing words. If you are just going online or you have a picture, the mirror image stuff, you don't have to worry about it. But if there are any sort of words, you have got to figure out how to mirror image it so that when you print it out, it's actually backwards, so that when you lay it down and then iron it on and then peel it away, it comes out right reading. The mirror image is the part that's total crap, but I figured out a way that's not total crap. So that's what we're gonna go over first. How do we come up with our design, especially if we want it words like I am awesome, hashtag I am awesome, Sheri is super bitchin', whatever. You guys can all make those shirts. Sheri is the best thing ever in the world. We love Sheri so much. She is amazing. You guys can all make those t-shirts because I'm gonna show you how right now on our computers. Okay, so I've got my laptop out on the floor and I'm going to go in and open Word. So I'm going to create that blank document and voila. I just want to type in text. I know that I want to use up the full length of the 11, so it's across my chest like this and not like this. So my first step is going to be changing my page layout orientation to landscape. I also change my margins to like really small margins because I want to take up the full page, as much of it as I can. Normally I would think, oh, I'm just gonna start typing, you know, whatever I want to say, but that's not what you want to do. The easiest way to get your mirror image, now I have Word 2007, I know, way to stay up to date. You know, the whole Microsoft suite is expensive. My license is still valid, so we're using it. Every single word, I'm sure, if it's not exactly the same, you'll be able to figure out where it is. You wanna go up to Insert, and you want to click on Word Art. Now, when you open Word Art, you're gonna see a bunch of different options. They give you all of these like different ways you can lay out your wording. So you just pick the one you like the best. I like this one. And so then it's gonna open up your window so you can write whatever text you want. For me, I'm going to write hashtag Frank is old. And then it lets you select whatever font you want. You can go online and you can download fonts for free simply by Google searching like free fonts. You'll come across websites like DaFont, like D-A and then F-O-N-T, and another one is like 1,000 free fonts or something or other like that. You can look up a bunch of fonts, like if you like curly fonts or holiday fonts or whatever, and then you can download them right to your computer and then they'll be there when you open Word. Sometimes I like to just sit on my computer and just download a bunch of free fonts. But anyways, so once you have your font selected and the wording that you want it to be, you click on OK, and it's gonna insert that into your Word document. I don't want that color, I want black. So I can literally go up here to Shape Fill and select black for that, and it will turn it to black. Perfect. Before I get to like sizing it and all that jazz, I wanna mirror image it right away. How you mirror image? Super easy. You're gonna go to the far little like dot or square that's on the left-hand side, and you're gonna click on that, and then you're gonna drag it over to the right-hand side. And voila, it mirror images it. And then from here, you can use your tools for sizing so that it comes out to the size that you want it to be. I'm gonna get 3 out on my 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I know that I want it to be 2.5 inches tall by, I can't go all the way to 11, obviously. So I'm gonna go by, because I want a border, I'm gonna make this 9 inches. And then boom, it does it. For me, in order to insert a border, I went ahead and went back up to insert again, and then I did text box. And then I just pick simple text box. Right click on this, format text box, and then it'll give you like all your line weights, whatever. Bump that puppy up. I'm gonna bump it up to 10, boom, boom. So voila. I can go ahead and change the text box size now. So I'm gonna change it to 2.5 high, and I want my text box to actually be 10 inches. So there we have our text box ready to go. So I've clicked on my word art. I can see that there's like the light blue like dotted line box, so I know my word art is selected. I'm actually going to Control X to cut it. It vanished! Oh no, shit! No, it didn't vanish. You're gonna click inside of your text box. Control V is gonna paste your word art back in the box. Now, this is where it gets a little dicey because you're like, well, that's way too big. You kind of got to just play around. So usually I click on the word art so that I can get my word art tools back up here. Alignment, I want it in the center. Spacing, I kind of want tight spacing so the letters are a little bit more together. Then I'm going to go back over here, 2.5 inches by 9 inches. Boom, perfect. Now I'm going to click on my word art and just make sure that it is centered within my text box, and bam, now we are perfect. That's great. We're amazing. But now we want 3 of these on one sheet. All we have to do is copy both of these items, the text box and the word art, and then just paste it right below, and then copy another one and paste it right below. I want to make sure that I go up to select, and I want to select objects, and I'm going to control and drag my mouse so that you can see everything is selected. Control X cuts, Control C copies, and Control V pastes. So I'm gonna Control C for copy, click on my paper, hit Control V for paste. So now that I have it copied, it looks like one is laying right over the top of the other one. But don't click anywhere else but on the one that is already has the blue dots on it. And then I can drag it right underneath the one I just made. Boom. Yay! So now that this one is highlighted and good to go, I'm literally just gonna hit Control C, click on my piece of paper, and then hit Control V. Voila, it is copied. So now I can go ahead and grab that and drag it down as well. So there, oh, it looks like I need to nudge everybody up. You just kind of got to play around with your spacing. So now I've got a wide edge around my entire sheet. So this is actually ready to print. So just really quickly, let's just summarize so that we know how to do the mirror image. Go up to Insert, go over to Word Art, select my favorite word art, which is this one right here. Write what I want this one to say. Pick my font, say, okay, shape fill, select whatever color you want. I want black. Mirror image this simply by going over to the far left blue dot, dragging it over towards the right of my screen. Boom. Adjust the alignment to center and my spacing to tight spacing. Insert my text box. Right click on my text box, format my text box shape. Change the weight of my border to 10 point. Click on my word art, hit Control X, click in my text box, hit Control V to paste it. Change the sizing. Go to our text box tools, change our text box to 2.5 inches, 9 inches. Click on my word art and just make sure that that is centered within my text box, and bam! So see, mirror imaging, easy. Okay, so now that we have what we want our t-shirts to say, all laid out, mirrored, imaged, and all that good stuff, now we just need to print them. So when you're getting ready to print, you want to make sure that you check your printer properties and make sure that you are printing like best quality, not normal quality or draft quality, that you're just printing best quality so that your ink lays down like nice and thick and everything is smooth and wonderful. I typically print out a test sheet just on normal copy paper, just to make sure my printer is not like, the ink's not jacking up, everything's coming out smooth before I waste a iron-on sheet. So I did print out a test paper and I actually cut one out so that I could get an idea of where I wanted this to go on the t-shirts before I started ironing them on. And then I need to go and print out all of the ones on my iron-on sheets. So that's what I'm gonna go do right now. And then we're going to cut them all out and then we're gonna iron them on. Printer, make sure it's on best quality printing. Whether it's color or black and white, it doesn't matter. Best quality printing. I think maybe I select specialty paper and then best quality. Then that's done. Boom. So now that we have our wording printed out on our transfer paper, and be real careful when it comes off the printer. Your ink might still be a little bit wet. So I sit there and watch it, and the minute the one comes out, I'm pulling it away and putting it off to the side because I don't want the other one to like slide on top of it and like rub against the ink that may not be quite dry yet. Now, if you don't cut right around each letter like as close as possible, it does leave, people say, oh, you can't really see it. You can see it. I mean, where's the one? Anything that's on the transfer paper that doesn't have ink on it still comes off on your t-shirt. Wherever you see white between the border and the words, you can actually feel it. It's the transfer paper. The part of your design that doesn't have any ink on it could discolor and turn yellow, which, believe me, mine have many a time. In the past, I would try to cut out and get rid of as much of the transfer paper without the ink. This time, I did the border so my cuts would be easier, but it does leave me with a lot of film, which I don't mind as long as I don't burn it. Point of the story is, if you don't make your design have a border that you could just straight cut, you will want to go in and cut around all of this. This go around I didn't. Still turned out great, but that's just a heads up. Because I made a border, we're just gonna cut these suckers. So I just got my paper trimmer. We've used this before, we know how to do it. So, waboom. Yeah, if I had to do 24, which I did before, hand cutting around each of the letters, no, I learned my lesson that first time. So this is why every shirt has a border. Because I bumped these right up next to each other, I'm literally just gonna split the difference with my blade and cut right down the center of the black. Boom. Now I just cut these all out and then we can iron them on. Now that all of our iron-ons are cut out and ready to go, it is time to actually iron them on. Some of these directions don't apply. They literally have a picture of an ironing board with a anti-sign. It says, don't use an ironing board, glass, granite, concrete, or other heat-sensitive or heat-retaining surfaces. I don't know who in their right mind would iron on glass, but okay. Granite, fine. Concrete or other heat-sensitive surfaces? Well, what the hell is left? What are you supposed to iron this on? Your lap? Like, seriously. It says, do iron on a heat-resistant surface such as a wooden table. Well, I am not ironing on my wooden dining room table. I'm sorry, Avery. Not gonna happen. It does say to wash your garments before you iron your iron-on. Before you iron your iron-on. So I did wash my garments. There's a huge pile right here of white V-neck t-shirts. I do my ironing board. I don't give a shit. And guess what? It's worked every single time. So that's what I'm using again today. Here's my nice little white shirt. And because this has a V-neck, I can only assume the Walmart put the V in the center of the shirt. So that is what I'm going off of for the center. I decided that I wanted my wording to be 1 inch below the point of the V. I'm using like the back end of my ironing board, not the pointy end of my ironing board. And so I slip it onto my ironing board. I straighten it out, super, super great. Our little V-neck is centered and everything looks wonderful and smooth. Next, I need the center of this iron-on. So I have my ruler and yeah, it's so hard when it's mirrored image to tell like, is this upside down or right side up? I just mark the center of this paper with a tiny baby, just as long as it like made a press. Once I have that, center of my iron-on, center of my V, line those two centers up. I just eyeball it, you know me. I want it 1 inch down from the V. And make sure my center of my point of my V is lined up with my center of my iron-on. Now, it's there, and you're looking at it, and you're like, yeah, I mean, that looks straight. So what I normally do is I come around to this side of my ironing board, I hold my sleeves out, I will make my minor little adjustment. Yeah, that's pretty straight. Once I have it straight, I can start ironing. So my iron has 0 water in it. It's been on and it's on the highest possible setting. So like whatever that is, like super cotton setting. I have my iron on as straight and as centered as I'm gonna get it. And so what I do, I start in one spot and I press and I count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick it up, take it to the other end and press. Put some pressure in it and count to 5. Here's where I also don't follow the directions. The iron-on people tell us to don't rub. I kind of do rub a little bit. I press and rub, because I guess when you rub, you risk like moving the iron on paper, but I've never had a problem with it. They say if you're doing a full sheet that you probably will be ironing for about 3 minutes. Half a sheet, it's 1.5 minutes. Quarter sheet, it's 45 seconds. So because this is a quarter sheet, I literally count to 45. Once I've done my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 press, and then my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 press, so now I know it's kind of locked in place. Then I literally just go back and forth and count. Sometimes I shift, and I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And see, I move it. If I leave it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I just kind of move it here, well, the center has had constant iron on it, and that's where you can risk burning. And you'll know you're doing it because when you move your iron away, this will kind of turn yellow. So that's the only thing you need to be aware of. Move your iron off of the center, give that area some time to breathe and not get so hot. So use some pressure, count to 45, and then when you think you're ready, and peel it off. And then this is always the scary part to me because sometimes I'll start peeling it off and it won't be stuck. You can save it. You just put your paper back down and you just re-iron again for a little bit longer. So I just use my fingernail and I start peeling it off. And I'm looking to see if my image is either on this paper or on the shirt. So as long as it's on the shirt, we're good. If I notice that it's not, then I'm gonna put my paper right back down and I'm gonna iron it up for a little bit longer. But this looks pretty good. Dun 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 dun. Yes! So yay, that one shirt is done. So now that we've peeled off our paper, I pull it off of my ironing board, nice and straight and smooth, and then I give it a shake like that. Don't ask me why. And then I go lay it flat somewhere. I don't fold it right away. I let it completely cool down before I start folding it. Actually go lay it on a chair over there. So, boom. Now that one's like curing, if you will, and then I can start my next one. Okay, so here's one that didn't turn out that great. For whatever reason, I don't know. I did it exactly the same way I was doing all of the others. This middle section right here, the ink was refusing to come off. And so I kept ironing it and I actually ended up scorching it a little bit. Yeah, you can definitely see like white, yellow. So I know I should redo this. But then there's part of me that's like, just give it to one of your guy friends who wouldn't care. So see, that could happen. Oh, another pro tip, because I do know that sometimes some of the ink doesn't like iron down, doesn't adhere, whatever the case may be, I tend to pick a font that already looks distressed. It's my little cheater way of kind of covering up any imperfections that might come out when you are doing an iron-on. If you pick a font that already has a little bit of distress and then some distress happens during your iron-on process, it won't be that noticeable. So yeah. This happens. I'm like, when I hold it up, I'm like, it's not that bad, but it's kind of bad. So yeah, I have more V-necks to iron. So I'm doing this one and lo and behold, it didn't exactly work. So when I was pulling this up, I noticed that the black wasn't sticking to the t-shirt. So I immediately stopped because I wanted to show you that it's okay. I'm gonna lay this exactly right back down, grab my iron, and just get on that edge for like 5 more seconds. 1, So now let's see. Come on. Let's start from this end. That's another trick too. When one end doesn't seem to be working, start from the other end. This all looks good. Good. Perfect. See, you can save it. Just don't iron it forever. Once you see this paper discolor, stop ironing. That is a surefire sign that whatever is underneath of this paper is also discoloring. So the minute you see any discoloration, stop it. Just stop it. Abort the ironing. Okay, so seriously, how cute is my shirt? I custom made. No one else, I mean, well, 23 other people will have it, but you get the point. No one else has it because I made it myself and it turned out super cute. Like I said, you can do anything. I like words. I know a lot of people print pictures, you know, rock band pictures, what have you, which is totally fine too, but I just like words. You know, I am awesome. See, I wasn't lying. I'm awesome. I also made one that says, I'm Sheri. And I use a ribbed white tank top and I do it just the same. I try not to stretch out the ribbing if I can help it. I've also taken old gross white tank tops and I've made iron-ons for them too. Kind of gives them a new life's purpose. Yeah, make yourself a custom t-shirt or tank top and say whatever you want. It's about self-expression and my self-expression says, I'm awesome. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell because you know everybody on YouTube tells you. If you ring that notification bell, you will be notified of all of the videos that I push out. DIY Wednesday videos come out every other Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. So if you have that notification bell rung, you won't miss out on any of them. And you know we make amazing shit on this channel. So yeah, ring the notification bell. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.